And welcome back once again, everybody, here to the ASRC following West Liberty's victory today, 75-66 over Point Park as they open Mountain East Conference play with the win. We're joined now by head coach Kyle Cooper and also student athletes Jenna Ricardo and Anna Lucarelli. Coach Cooper, if you just give us your thoughts on the game today.
Yeah, went 1-0 in league, so that's huge. I thought, you talked about it last time, learning how to win, it's a skill, right? And last time we did it with almost outscoring somebody down the stretch and had that flurry of threes. Today maybe we don't shoot it quite as well and in turn find other ways to win. But you look at some of the things that happened and we got 20 assists on 26 made baskets. So take how we shot the three at different stretches of the game out of it, like still find a way to play West Liberty basketball, share the basketball, move the basketball. And they were two conflicting styles of play. There was no secret that they're not looking to get a ton of assists unless you just really leave shooters. They're going to just drive you, and they're going to try to play over you, through you, all of it. And I thought our style of play through the game led to success. I think the thing I'm most proud of when you look at how the game played out is they got a little bit comfortable in the third quarter. You look at the breakdown, 15 in the first, 15 in the second for them, 20 in the third, 16 in the fourth. We want to be in that 15 to 17 realm. They get a little comfortable, and then we immediately respond without us having to change anything up as coaches. That shows ownership, that shows leadership, that shows connectivity by our team. Really, really proud of them. And then hit some milestones I know today as well, it sounds like, which is great, but the biggest milestone's going 1-0.
Talk to me about that fourth quarter, because you're up 11 at one point in the third. I think it was 43-32. They closed that quarter pretty strong, though. Now you're tied going into the fourth. But your team really came out, I think, and responded right off the get in that fourth. I think you went on a 10-4 run to open the fourth quarter. You guys really kind of took control then. And that's a point where you can go either way, right? Because they had gone on a pretty good run, but your ladies came out and they responded the way you want them to.
Oh, 100%. And you talk about a couple of games ago, it was a different story, right? Mm-hmm. So again, as we learn how to win and this group comes together the way that we know they're capable of coming together, you see that change. And what you saw was we relied on defense and rebounding, and then that drove our offense. I thought we executed really well down the stretch as well. There were some times that maybe a little uncharacteristically, I kind of paused, as we call it, and ran some stuff, which usually I'd let them play, but I just thought we were in a position that we needed to dictate a little bit more and take some clock, and they stepped up and handled that. So again, it was a fourth quarter that showed a lot of growth and a lot of maturity on a team that's still very young in their season.
Talk about the lady there to your right, 21 points, 14 rebounds. She faced a challenge in the post too at times. She had a pretty good player on her today, but she was able to really still work, I thought, in the post and got a lot of shots up and in for you.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is she did have a tough matchup today. There's no doubt about it, but she wins her matchup, and those are huge numbers in that double-double. But I think the biggest thing was, and again, it's amazing how even when you're up in your late 20s at this point, how you can still learn as you're playing college basketball. And that's, there's been some moments where she's let frustration get her, and her and I had a good talk about that this week. And seeing her growth to settle in, even though things didn't start off going for her, you saw we ran stuff for her down the stretch. Like she responded in a major way.
Yeah,
and so I think that shows her leadership, her maturity, her growth, but who she is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because some players might get frustrated when things aren't going, but Jen, I think in her continued maturity has shown that she just goes with the flow. How about Anna here today? I think she led the team in assists. 7 assists. She's done that a number of times this year where she really has dished the ball out. She played extremely well for you too, I thought.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is like Anna's a stat filler, right? The motor doesn't stop. Right. But the bigger thing that people probably don't give her enough credit for is the level of confidence I have in her. I am very tough on point guards. I need somebody to control the basketball game kind of with us as a coaching staff. And the way that Anna has owned that role this year through good, bad, and ugly at times has been huge. So I'm grateful for that more than anything, but it's no secret to me that her motor never stops and she impacts the game in so many ways that the value is off the charts. And I just hope that she continues to see this success with the wins, because I know that's ultimately what she wants. But I also want people to see just how valuable she is, because people don't give her the respect that she's due, and she's due a damn lot of respect.
Yeah, let's talk to you, Jenna, about your performance today. Again, 21 points, 14 rebounds. You go over 300 rebounds in your career now with that number today. Just talk about your game out there today, because there were moments maybe where you did get a little frustrated in the post, but you kept on asking for the basketball and you kept going right at it.
I think obviously in the first half more so, I was definitely struggling in the post. Nothing was really falling for me. But then in the second half, I think coming off of our defense, we were able to play a lot more in transition. And when we play fast, we get a lot more easy touches and easy shots. So I feel like that's where a lot of mine came from too. And they were making really good passes into the post, which is awesome.
Talk to me about that fourth quarter, because you guys were tied starting the fourth. And like Coach said, I think a couple of games back, we look back at the Walsh game and some other contests, kind of went the other way. But I think we're seeing the growth of this team, aren't we? That today, that game was tied, but you guys took it to the next level and made sure this game wasn't getting away. What was the talk coming out on the court as you guys started that fourth quarter?
I think, honestly, the talk was just finish the game. We've come a long way with finishing plays and playing good defense, and our defense is what carried us to the lead because, like I said, we were able to play in transition because we were able to get rebounds and stops. So I think just playing really sound defense is what helped us in the fourth quarter.
Anna Lucarelli, let's talk to you today too. As Coach said, you filled up the stat sheet. 6 points, 8 rebounds to go along with your 7 assists. That's pretty good versatility when you talk about it as a player out there.
Five steals.
Yeah, 5 steals too. I'm sorry, you're right. Thanks for pointing that out, Coach. 5 steals too. Let's not forget that. Talk to me about your play today and how you wanted to try to impact the game, because really you made an impact in every way.
Big part of my game is impacting with my teammates, inspiring them, trying to be that calming force on the floor for them. So stats, they sound great, but at the end of the day, that's not my focus. My focus is winning. So, I mean, that just comes with loving the game, playing the game, and like Coach Cooper said, just having a motor each play.
Talk to me about the fourth quarter again and just the fact, the way you guys came out this time. Have you seen the growth in this team over these last few weeks? Because I know it was frustrating for you guys, because I think you guys have talked about, you know how good this team can be, and some of those games were frustrating because they were right there, but you let them slip away. You guys didn't let that happen today.
No, over the past few weeks, we've been focusing a lot on attention to detail with the basics of basketball. So obviously turning the ball over, connecting on passes. So being a lot more intentional about those parts of the game has really helped us in these final stretches of close games that we've had.
And now we're getting to the point of the season where things matter. Mountain East Conference, you get the win today. How good is that just to be 1-0 in conference play?
No, it feels amazing.
Same thing to you, Jen. Is that, I mean, that's the goal now, right?
Yeah.
Just stack up these MEC wins. Coach, a couple of days off, not much rest again. You're right back at it on Tuesday as you go to Salem, and then a little bit of a break. How do you want to see this team come out after here and respond Tuesday heading into that Thanksgiving break?
Yeah, I want them to really enjoy being 1-0 today. That's where this starts for us. And then we're going to wake up, and unfortunately, as much as we like on a Saturday game, to have Sunday off and enjoy that for 2 days. We're going to come back at it tomorrow, and we're going to get some prep, and we're going to get ready to go because we got a team on the road in Salem that gives people fits. So we've got to be ready to go. So it will be a little bit of a lighter day probably for a lot of them tomorrow, but not from a preparation standpoint. But right now, our only thing is we are going to celebrate being 1-0 because winning is hard.
Congratulations to you guys. Great performance today. West Liberty wins 75-66 over Point Park. They're 1-0 in Mountain East Conference play. Back in action Tuesday night at Salem.